What was that performance? In the space of a week, we have crashed out of the Champions League and the WSL. Really disappointing times. And we need to have uncomfortable conversations with regards to players that need to be moved on in the summer. There's too much of a gap in quality between our starting 11 and our bench. And we can't be carrying players, not at elite level football. You can't carry players. And there were players yesterday who had a poor game. And that's something that needs to be looked at. We had opportunities last summer to strengthen in depth, and we just didn't do it. We didn't do it adequately. So that's something that we really need to get to grips with this summer, and we need to make changes. So if we get into the game, to start off with, I thought Renee got the team selection totally wrong. There were too many changes at the back. We know how good Brighton have been. They knocked us out of the FA Cup. They recently beat Man City and Man United. They're a brilliant team, particularly in attack. They're high energy, high intensity, and our back line couldn't cope with them. If I go through our back line, so we had Taylor Hines left wing back, Smila right wing back, and Lotta and Kadina 2 centre backs. I thought Kadina had a poor game. There were a lot of times during the game where she was on the wrong side of the attacker. You can't be doing that, not at this level. There was another time where she tugged on the attacker's jersey inside the penalty box. Again, you can't be doing that. She got away with it because of the offside flag. But look, you can't be doing that at this level. So that is something that needs to be looked at. I thought we just really struggled against Brighton. Our midfield was off. I thought Palova had a poor game. She was substituted at half-time. We brought on Mariona. I would have started Mariona. I know she's played a lot of minutes along with Kim Little. And I'm really aware that the team, obviously losing the Champions League and particularly travelling to Lyon, would have taken a lot out of them, both mentally and physically. But I would have started Mariona. We saw her influence on the game when she came on in the second half. She was further up the pitch. She gave us stability. She looked lively. She was shooting. She was playing the ball through the lines. Yeah, for me, she should have started. I thought that the substitution of Frida Mona was really confusing. She had a good game. We know that she scored the goal, but she was also one of the only ones that was driving at Brighton's backline and carrying the ball. She was our best ball carrier. So I was really perplexed as to why she was substituted when she was on the ascendancy. That really confused me. I thought Chloe Kelly was brought on too late. Look, our substitutions were poor. The timings of the substitutions were poor. We needed more leaders on the pitch. And if I'm honest, having looked at the performance as a whole yesterday, nobody stood out to me. Nobody. I thought everyone had a poor game. If I had to pick someone, I would have picked Monum with her, her ball carrying and obviously scoring the goal. Yeah, look, we just weren't good enough, and I know that we have played a lot of minutes. Renee has relied on kind of the same set of players throughout the season, and that is an issue. And again, that goes back to the changes we need to make in the summer. As I said earlier, that's something that we need to really be serious about if we want to win titles next season. So yeah, look, fair play to Brighton. They've been brilliant. Particularly towards the end of the season, they've been really good, and credit to them. I know that we were reliant on Man City dropping points, but we needed to win yesterday. We needed that win, and now we need to focus on Villa. We need to remain in the top 3 in order to qualify for Champions League next season. Man United are 2 points behind us. I know we have 2 games in hand. We need to go ahead and win our remaining games. So yeah, that's just the way it is. If we look at our season as a whole, I know that we've won the Club World Cup, but I think domestically we've been poor. And I've stated my reasons why already, with regards to the reliance on the same players, some players getting too many minutes, others getting not enough minutes, players that need to be moved on. Look, I don't want to be all doom and gloom. There is some very positive news. We have seen that the men are through to the Champions League final for the second time in 20 years. We play PSG in Budapest. Really looking forward to that. Mikel has had his struggles this season. He really has. But somehow, some way, we are, still in with the shout for the Premier League and the Champions League. I was hoping that we would play Bayern. I thought that defensively they're a bit more kind of susceptible to letting in goals. So look, we're going to have to just face PSG. Luis Enrique is a tactical genius, I would say. He's such a brilliant coach. And PSG are absolutely brilliant. You know, they play total football. They're a scary side, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, fingers crossed. Looking forward to that. But yeah, no, thank you so much for all of your support on the channel. I really, really appreciate it. And I'd love to read some of your comments. I love when people have different opinions, and I just love chatting about football. So don't be shy, get involved. Please continue to like and subscribe, and yeah, leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you think about our season overall. I'm really happy to hear it. And yeah, thank you so much. I will see you for a post-match reaction against after Aston Villa. So yeah, see you soon. Cheers.